What's up, it's Gene, your coach and motivated impact storyteller. All right, this is chapter 6 I'll be moving into. I'll be reading a little bit today of my new book, Worthy to be Great, How to Build Self-Discipline to Achieve Your Greatness. And I'll be honest with you all about this story I'm going to read in chapter 6. Now, chapter 6 is entitled, Go Kart Without Brakes. Now, this was a very tough story to write. I'm going to read a portion of it and you will see what it's kind of leading to, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but let me just get to it. Chapter 6, Go Kart Without Brakes. One hot summer day, four of my friends and I found an old rusty go-kart. My friend Grant was tall, slim, dark-skinned, asked us to help him push the go-kart to his place to work on it with the tools in his garage. Despite his limited experience with engines, Grant finally got it to start. As we were about to hit the road on the go-kart, Grant's neighbor, Mr. Charles, a muscular white-haired man who was known for being a skilled mechanic, came out of his house in a hurry and shouted, "Don't ride that go-kart without brakes. It's dangerous." "Mr. Charles, nothing will happen," Grant replied angrily. "Boy, I'm almost 60 years old and I've been a mechanic over 20 years, so I know what I'm talking about. It's dangerous, so do not ride it until the brakes are fixed." I interrupted calmly and said, "Mr. Charles, we don't know how to fix them." He smiled and responded, "When I get home from work today, I'll fix them for you guys." The mischievous look on Grant's face left no doubt that he had no intention of listening to Mr. Charles' advice. After helping us push the go-kart back into Grant's garage, Mr. Charles went to his car, headed off to work while I ran home. My mama took my sister and me to the grocery store. When we got home, my mama, sister, and I started unloading the groceries from the car. As I was grabbing the last of the bags, I suddenly heard a noise that sounded like a lawnmower charging in my direction. I went out into the street to investigate the source of the noise. That's when I saw Grant riding the go-kart without brakes. He approached me at about 25 miles per hour, and when he got close to me, he stretched out his legs and used the soles of his shoes to bring the go-kart to a halt. Excitedly, he demanded, "Gene, get on, Gene. This is so much fun." I responded, "There's no way I'm getting on that. Mr. Charles told us not to because it doesn't have brakes." Grant got mad and said, "That old fool doesn't know what he's talking about. Come on, man, stop being scared." "Okay," I said without giving it much thought. "Let me put these groceries inside before we hit the road." Walking into the house allowed me to take some time to think logically about getting on the go-kart without brakes. I pondered over Mr. Charles' warning. I couldn't help but think about how hard it was for Grant to stop the go-kart with his feet. I walked back outside and said, "Grant, I'm not getting on that go-kart. I'm going to listen to Mr. Charles." "All right, man, I see you scared. I'm about to have more fun." Grant drove off towards the corner, where our friends were standing outside. Suddenly, a white pickup truck roared down the street, heading towards him about 40 miles per hour. Grant panicked because he knew that the go-kart didn't have any brakes. I'm going to stop right there. Now, this is a tough story, okay? And if you want to know what happened in this story, you got to get a copy of this book, Worthy to be Great, How to Build Self-Discipline to Achieve Your Greatness. Because I promise you, this story right here will stick in your mind but you're going to learn a great lesson, and you're also going to learn a great technique that's going to help you with the thing that I'm going to talk about at the end of this story. You see, when I was sitting down thinking about this story, I was like, man, do I really want to write this story? But I said, you know what? This is a very important story, because what happened in this story can happen to any of us when we have to make decisions. So if you would like a copy of this book, click the link below or in my social media profiles. Now, if you want a signed copy of this book, there's a website you will be directed to so you can get a signed copy from me personally if you're in the US. If not, you can also get a copy of this book on Amazon. You can get it in other countries as well. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to sit down as I read portions of my book. I'm going to see you guys on the next video when I have another chapter when I'm going to read a portion of it. Once again, this is my new book, Word to Be Great, How to Build Self-Discipline to Achieve Your Greatness. It's designed to help you develop that self-discipline so you can go after your goals and dreams. But for right now, I'm going to say peace, and I will see you on the next reading.